Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Lights on a Saturday morning. I'm Lou Landers filling in for Dr. Roto, and I'm joined here by these two awesome guys, Willie Walls, Odell Blogger. Willie, what's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing? Welcome. Welcome
Thank
to
you. Thank you.
welcome to the kingdom, man. We appreciate you filling in for Doc. And we just thank you about that because we're really prepared for today, man. So we're ready to talk some NFL football. And man, the season has gone away, man. Good gracious. We're
Yeah, it's
almost at the
flown
end.
by.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
been crazy quick.
I can't believe it, man. That's what I hate about football. It goes so fast. I mean, it takes so long to get here. Then once it gets here, it flies by. And then before you know it, we was in week 10. I'm like, come on, man. This is too fast for me.
Absolutely. The great Swami. How's it shaking?
Lou, it is going well. I got two words for Willie, though. Toothpaste. Wake up!
All right. So, for all those who typically watch this show, we take a look at all the games on the main NFL DFS slate this week. So let's start with some AFC North football. Browns headed to Cincinnati, 1 p.m. game. Willie, what are you looking at?
In this game, I mean, you look at Chase. I'll tell you what, Mr. Brown, the running back, is still a man of interest. And I think on this slate, he's going to be overlooked because of, Mr. Gibbs. But it's nobody but Mr. Barkley that has outplayed him. He has played, 144 or 149, attempts. I mean, it's crazy what he still does. So I think you still got to look at Brown. I mean, I'm not going to be going to him as much because I think you got better value that's going to be there. But I'm just telling you, you still got to look at Chase. I mean, Chase is a monster. But this is the thing that is going to get me why I'm not going to be on this game, because they're not going to get no pushback. I mean, this DT, whatever his name is, he is. Listen, you can talk about Winston. I get it. He's been stupid at the goal line with the interceptions, but still. Now I got to take Mr. Judy out for season long because I don't trust this quarterback. This quarterback stinks. He stinks. He's awful. I do not trust this bastard, and I got to depend on him. He is ass milk. Milk of the ass and ass of the milk. I'm telling you, this dude, best game is like 147. He stinks. So just because of that, just because they give no pushback, I am not on the Bengals today. I am so sorry. And this is such a great spot. I mean, I had this game marked. But with this stinking quarterback, not only no, but hell no. I'm not.
Willie, I had Jameis all ready to go in one of my super flex semifinals and to pair him with Allen. And now, losing that because it was such a great spot, right? Against the Bengals who can't seem to stop anybody. No trust in DTR and very little trust in Judy, as you mentioned, like the Chase Brown call, even at the price. Swami, what do you say?
I think Jangle Leg said it best. And that's what I'm calling Willie this morning when he said, absolutely no thank you. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons for you to like Barrow the way that he's been playing the last probably 4 or 5 weeks. Him and Chase have had it rolling. But, in a game against the Browns where you expect them to, probably put up some points early, you're just not really sure if they're going to have to push, and that push is what you need sometimes late to take down a tournament. But still wouldn't be mad if somebody wanted to take a shot with say, Barrow and Chase or Chase Brown, but I don't like it. Not with what's going on the other side. I think this would have been sweet if we would have still had Jameis in there. Where if they'd have gave us one more week, I think we could have probably got some fantasy goodness out of this one. But the way it stands, I don't like it. And even though Ford has, had a ton of yards from scrimmage lately, again, with that quarterback in there, you're just not even really sure if you want to play him. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I don't want to have to rely on possible garbage time. I want back and forth 35, 40 points from each team. And we're not getting that with DTR quarterback. I'm with you guys. Giants, Falcons, Sunday, 1 p.m. Falcons going to Michael Penix. What do you guys think of that? Swami.
I'd rather play. No, I don't want to knock him in his first start, but again, first start week 16, even for somebody who has got a lot of I would say positives as far as what you're hearing about him and stuff like that. Again, it's still you feel like he's got to put some things on film. As a starter, we just don't know yet. So that, a lot of folks were liking Robinson this week. But again, once you change that person under center, it impacts everybody to include even the running backs, even somebody who like Robinson who might be in a decent spot. You would think that Robinson was no. You're right, Lou. I'm gonna just go with the defenses here. I just don't trust the quarterbacks, and the quarterback play this week is going to be key. Paying up for Robinson, it just feels like a risk, and I don't know if I want to risk it. And obviously, the Giants side of the ball is struggling, so I think I'm liking the Falcons D, maybe even the Giants defense.
The one guy I do like in this game is Malik Neighbors, and that's really about it. But even that can be a scary proposition with the quarterback play from the Giants. Willie, what do you got?
I'm gonna disagree. I think that Phoenix is worth taking a shot. They're going against the Giants. The Giants stink, and this guy got some talent. And it's not like he's a rookie that only played 2 or 3 years in college. He played for a while. So I think at his price point, at $4,500 for quarterback, you can try to get some people in here. I don't mind taking a shot in this game right here. And I think the Giants are so bad. Listen, against the run defense, they stink. Okay? They stink. So Mr. Robinson, I still think is a man of interest for me. And I don't mind throwing maybe a receiver in here because I'm just telling you guys, remember, this guy's making a decision. And they said, Kirk Cousins, get your ass out of here because he cannot make those throws anymore. And these throws, this guy will get here, and Atlanta got talent. I mean, that's why you don't make a move like this when you still got shot at the playoffs if this is not something that they were seeing on film and watching this. So I think that this is a prime opportunity to take this shot. In the game, and I even thought about it for my season long. I didn't do it because I'm going with another quarterback for Indianapolis, which is it could be the Chamber, but I have no choice. But I'm just telling you, I think I don't mind this. I don't mind taking a shot, and I think Robinson is still in play at running back. I think he's still in play. I'm going to have a couple of lineups with him in there because I'll tell you because they've been feeding him the rock. And the Giants have been getting smashed in the run game. So I'm gonna disagree with that. And I think, and this is the great thing about it. If you're gonna take a shot now, because if he throws for 2 or 3 touchdowns and runs for something, he's only 4,500. This is when you take the shot. So I'm gonna take a couple of shots at him. Where I might have him a quarterback. I might even have him naked to use his price point. And as long as he can get you 20 points and you get some other people and pay up for some other positions, I think this thing will work. So I'm going to play a little bit. I'm going to play a little Phoenix. I even flew to Phoenix this morning, and that's why I'm so tired coming back because I'm just coming from Phoenix, trying to do some research on this bastard. But yes, I'm playing a little Phoenix today.
That price is definitely enticing. It definitely is something to pay attention to because quarterbacks typically just aren't that cheap. Obviously, we know why. And, remember after the draft, everyone's like, what are the Falcons doing drafting Penix after paying Kirk Cousins? Well, apparently they knew something, right? Because you're right, Willie. Kirk has been trash lately. Just
and his arm
garbage
it's been
trash.
Horrible. And he can't make those throws. So now those plays that they've been missing is now going to be open because you got a fresh arm and he could get that ball there. So that's why I said, man, take a shot. This is the time to take a shot. I'm going to take a couple of shots with him.
Yeah, it's a good game to get him going too. It's not like they're going up against some
Giants
top team. Yeah,
it's not Philly. It's
yeah.
not Philly. This is
Swami. You got any response to Willie, considering he basically went against absolutely everything you just said?
Well, it's Willie makes a good point when he said it's worth a shot at the price, right? So I can't knock that. I just don't think it's going to go very well, and I think sometimes you'll see when guys get out there in that first start and they throw them in there at this type of a time. There's some pressure as well. I just don't like it. I don't think they could protect well for Kurt. I don't think they had things going for him. Even if he took all of the blame and fell on the sword for the offense, they still got a lot of things that they're not doing well. They still have not figured out how to keep Robinson involved. I think that in and out of the lineup stuff and rotating guys out, I just don't like the way the offense looks. Even Koo, who cost me a championship game last week with a missed kick and eliminated me from the playoffs. Everything about the Falcons is bad.
No, you got words with another guy. Not, I ain't gonna blame it on Koo. It's the other brass lane get you no damn points, sir. That's the guy. No targets. Cut.
Yeah, that was wild, man. I actually survived 0 from Cup in one league, but it hurt in another for sure. Yeah, that was bad for sure. He's gonna bounce back this week though. Cardinals, Panthers. I mean, which Kyler Murray are you gonna get, right? You just never know. Panthers have been playing a lot better until that Dallas game, which was shocking because the Cowboys stink too. But Willie, what do you got here? Cardinals, Panthers, anyone from this game?
Yeah, I mean, really, you got to look at the quarterback. You got to look at Kyler Murray. Look at the way they made the Dallas quarterback look. 3 touchdowns. I mean, you got the tight end who they need to get a touchdown to. You got Connor in a smash spot.
Connor's amazing. That's the problem, though. If Connor is gonna go 150 for 2, and he probably will, I don't know how much Kyler's gonna do. I love Connor, but I think I don't want anyone else because of that.
Yeah. I mean, Connor's a lot, but I listen. Carolina can push back. They've been a little feisty. They're playing at home, but they gave up 20.6, number 1 in the league against points against running backs. They 171 yards as a scrimmage. So Connor, listen, is definitely a play. Swami and I played him last week. We was on Connor. We always like we're Connor. We just Connor guys. We always like him, but this is definitely the spot. Definitely the spot for him. And I think, you could look at Thielen on the other side, even though he stunk in his last game. You could look at Thielen on the other side, but definitely Connor is the main target in this game. And for season long, please give that ball to that tight end so he can get a touchdown. Please. I'm just asking you. I got him in 2 leagues. And matter of fact, me and Swami going there. I hate this. Like we're trying to get in the championship. There's one league where it's just him and I. But then this other league, man, we it's like Serena and it's like the Serena sisters when they play each other. I mean, it sucks, but we definitely gonna go after each other's ass though. But it sucks though, because we like to meet in the championship game. When we're meeting the championship for all the marbles, not in the damn, not where we go meet here. So we have
glass
half full. Glass half full. At least one of you is going to the finals. Hey, it could be worse.
No. We're actually we're meeting in a consolation game, which sucks ass too. We both,
Well, that's even worse. Yeah, you guys.
Yeah. And then we're set up to go to. Now we got the guys that been kicking ass all year long, but we've been kind of sneaking up, and now we got the baseball bats, and we ready to face them. We told them, oh yeah, it's time. It's time. You got to. Come on to us. Come on to us because we playing you. Now we ready for you. So we both gotta win our games today so we can meet in the championship game. But yeah, Connor's absolutely a smash spot. The tight end, he's in a good spot too.
Yeah, McBride's got double-digit targets in 4 straight. and
Yeah.
obviously one of the best in the league, but definitely lacking that touchdown, as you mentioned. And I'm pretty sure I saw Kyler come out on X or Twitter, for those who still call it Twitter, and actually mention, I got to get my boy into the end zone. Right.
Yeah.
So that's something to watch for sure. Swami, what do you think? You like Connor, you like McBride, anything on the Panthers side?
I think I like Connor probably more than McBride, but just slightly. Just because of the targets and the PPR, you got to like McBride, and even the possibility of him getting in the end zone has him looking at a huge game. You always think if he can get in there twice, you're talking 30 plus fantasy points. But even getting in there once, you still having a heck of a day. And Connor just seems like they continue to be kind of a focal point featured in the offense. So you got to like him. I'm hesitant on the Carolina side, even though some kind of way, lately they've been able to, keep the games a little bit more competitive. I'm still not a big believer in their offense when they're not in smash spots. And so I thought we had, some possibilities with Hubbard last week, and obviously that didn't go very well. And so I'm gonna probably just stay away from that side of the ball this week.
Fair enough. Well, why don't you get us rolling with the Lions and the Bears? Should be a good game. Lions defense decimated by injuries, so they're basically allowing tons of points to anybody. Could be a good spot for Caleb. And the Bears cannot stop the run. Jahmyr Gibbs going to be owned by like 80% of people, even at his, I think, 7,500 on DraftKings. But Bears can't stop the run. Gibbs, 25 touches might be coming.
Now you're talking, Lou Duke. You hit the nail right on the head. So first of all, I know everybody's thinking, they were like Williams, how he played the last, time he went play Minnesota, then he came back and they kind of struggled. I don't think that's going to happen this time. They're at home. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit cooler, but other than that, it's going to be some good football weather. And I think I like, the Bears passing game a lot in this one. If you ask me, one of the best stacks, I think it has a great price. That is Keenan Allen and Moore with Caleb Williams coming back against Jefferson. It feels like it's the kind of thing that could take down a tournament. So trust me, I like it a lot. And the other side, if you wanted to, maybe play it the other way as well, and then except this time you would play Donald, maybe Jefferson, Addison, and then come back with either.
You jumped to the Vikings. It's Lions Bears.
God dang. You dyslexic?
No.
It's because he was thinking about Caleb playing the Vikings.
About the last one, bring back, but don't worry, that's on my paper too. Apologies there, Lou.
What the hell is this?
Other side is Amar St. Brown with Gibbs and Golf, and then you would come back with either Moore or Allen. That's what I meant. So
hear me out for 1 second. Everyone is gonna think Goff and St. Brown. But the Bears are actually really good against wide receivers. They struggle against the tight end. Sam Laporta, only 4,700. If I'm going to go with the Lions, who are going to be popular, I'm going to try and be different. Don't go with Amon-Ra. Go with Laporta. That's just what I'm thinking.
And I wouldn't be mad at that, especially because I think the last couple of seasons they split. So one, I think St. Brown, he did okay at home, and then the season before that, I think he had a great game at Chicago where he had over 10 receptions, 100 some yards. So I think if you want to play Laporta, maybe save a couple of bucks, so that would be too expensive. But I'm just thinking from a tournament perspective, you kind of need that, take the top off in that stack. And so that's where he would come in. But I'm not mad at Laporta at all.
I see Willie. He's shaking his head. He's shaking his finger.
Hey, first of all, camera 2, come in a little closer, please. I've apologized for about President Biden's mistake going to another game. I really apologize about that. Please forgive him. He is the one that really needs to wake up. I am sorry, America. So please disregard anything that rascal just said. Now, I'm going to give you the true stuff that's going on in this game right now. So I know Golf went off the last game. Please don't play him. Outside, he's ass. Okay? He is ass. Do not play this rascal. in this game, I'm telling you, leave him alone. His outside stats are horrendous. You do not want to mess with him. Put a lock button on, and he will probably be 50-something% on. I don't care. Put a lock button on Gibbs. Just lock him up. The only thing that can mess you up in this game is the fact if he gets hurt, and that's one thing we can't predict. But it's a lock button. It's 100% on Mr. Gibbs. They have been a sieve against the run. A sieve against the run. And you're talking about the last 2 times that he's played that he without Montgomery, 20 touches, 126 yards, 31 touches, 189 yards. Play him. The Bears have been smashed. But let me tell you, let me give you something for a bet. For if you notice, the Detroit linebackers are horrendous. Please play Swift for some pass catches because they were isolated in that game. If you watch that game, they isolated them. I never seen people target those linebackers the way they targeted. If it wasn't such good players in these other games, Swift would have been a man of interest in this game, especially for pass catching. Because I'm telling you, if you watch that game, Buffalo did a fantastic job of isolating those linebackers. And you notice the running backs that we didn't even know, they were killing them in the pass.
Yeah, Ty and Ray Davis both definitely made some plays for sure. That's a great call.
Absolutely. So the thing in this game, like I said, I'm not on the passing game. I'm just on the running game for Detroit. Chicago stinks. I do agree with Swami. You know, Caleb is a play going against.
I like Caleb with Allen running in it back with Gibbs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at that at all. I agree with that. But man, I am not playing. I'm not playing. Even though that quarterback knocked me out, that bastard that for a season longer in the league, man. Going for God, dog, man. You know, you just shake your head, you just tip your hat, and just move on. But Gibbs, everybody, please lock button. Don't even think about it. Don't even worry about the ownership. You got to play, like Swami always say, play the best 8 or 9 players that you got. Period. That's it.
Swami, anything else on this game?
No, I'm not mad at Swift. I just don't think they give him enough. He don't get enough looks, I think, sometimes. I think his targets seem like they down to like maybe 1 or 2 or even if 1 or 2 catches. I just don't know if they look at him enough. And I think he's a pretty good receiver. I wish the Bears.
Yeah, that's why I said in the bets. I'm talking about not in playing him in the game because you got too many good plays for running backs to play him. And Rashawn is back this week. But I'm talking about catching the pass out the backfield. That's what I'm saying. Where where it might be. I don't know what the bet is, but I just think I will take that for Gibbs.
If it's 3.5, let's call it 3.5, because I bet you could find it at about 3.5 somewhere. And I'm gonna look later for my Sunday props. Would you take the over on that?
I would because they got smashed at that running back. And as we know, Swift has always been a good pass catching back. So I think
I'd take them for 10 yards.
That's 10 receiving yards?
That's it, Lou. They not. I don't know. They just don't see.
I don't know if I trust the Bears coaching staff to pick up on what you picked up, if I'm being fully honest.
I mean, if you couldn't see that, they was eating them up. The linebackers they are terrible, man. And I wish he was going against the Atlanta's running back Robinson. Robinson would have a field day against those guys.
Yeah, even Cousins can make those throws.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. All right. Willie, Titans and Colts. What do you got, if anything?
I think the quarterback for the Colts is in play. I would hate to say that.
Yeah, he might turn it over a bunch, but he could also run a bunch.
Yeah. And I'm taking a shot for him on season long on this one. And he's what, 5,400? I think he's about 5,400. I think that 5,400. I don't mind.
He's 54 and Rudolph's 5.
Yeah,
it's Rudolph. I'm pretty sure, not Levis.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you now. Listen, Swami has always liked Rudolph, and I do too, because Levis stinks. And they finally said, you know what? we're going to let you. So this might be a kind of game that you could get the quarterbacks at a really nice price. And I hold on for a minute. Listen, I got to. Hey, I'm on a podcast.
A beautiful jingle going on. I was wondering where we were getting such lovely music from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you check your porch when you get it?
Yeah, I got it. I got your package. You're good. Okay. Love you, sweetie. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, what a beautiful moment we got to witness.
Yeah. So I think both quarterbacks actually can, because like I said, Swami's always loved Rudolph, and I think he is in playing this game for both of them. So I think both quarterbacks are sneakily in play. I don't mind taking a shot or two. Like if I got a 20 entry max, I don't mind like taking a shot with each one of them. And what about it's one guy, and I think it's the receiver, Garcia. He's 3,800. For let me see, for the Colts, the receiver here.
Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell. Yeah, he
Okay.
is definitely in play. Like if I'm going to take a shot, I will take a shot with Adonai Mitchell. That will be the guy that I would take a shot with if I'm going to take a shot, because I think what's his name is out. I think one guy's going to be out for Indianapolis.
Pierce is out. Yeah, Pierce
is out.
I feel like if I'm going to go with Richardson, I might just roll him by himself. Like I might even make it a Richardson. I don't trust any of those guys, and I don't want to pay for Pittman. But with Rudolph, I would consider Calvin Ridley. Swami, what do you think on this game?
I think Richard Simmons, possibly even little Richard. It's a lot of Richards I'll consider this before I consider this bastard. No, thank you. I think, but if you were, I could see you then maybe looking at Downs and maybe looking at Pittman. It's maybe a more of a long shot kind of stack, but maybe playing one of them with Jonathan, and then that three, if you think it's going to be some points in this game, but they all seem like they would take from each other because the Colts only scoring maybe one touchdown. So I don't necessarily like it. And even on the other side, Willie used some strong words of affirmation when describing my thoughts about Mr. Rudolph. And I tell you, let's use I'm going to say some words of service or capability or something, but not affirmation. And what I mean by that is Rudolph, I thought I preferred him to Levis. I thought he was better, and I thought while he was in there, they did some decent things. So, but no, I didn't all of a sudden think he was like, I still think they need to find a quarterback. I don't think he's the guy either. I think he just gives us some better fantasy, possibilities than obviously what Levis did. So it would make me then want to consider maybe a Kongwu or a Pollard or Ridley, just somebody on an offense possibly. But really, I don't like the game. My favorite play in this game is probably the Colts defense. But if you asked me who else I would consider, it would probably be either running back and then Downs.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to like about this game, especially with other games that are so obviously better and stronger. Like there's just no reason to take a shot. Maybe if you're playing like a 20 lineups, like sure, throw one in, but it's just not that exciting. The Rams and the Jets could be a little more exciting though, especially with the way the Rams have been playing on offense. So what do you think, Swami?
Now you're talking, Lou. Now you're talking. I had a stack last week that Walls didn't quite like with Mr. Rogers and his neighborhood, which included both Adams and Wilson. And I think it was bringing it back with Thomas last week. Lou, I think that stack did pretty well. Would have made some noise.
It did.
Except I didn't get some cooperation from a play, I think, or two, and that was it. But this week, I like it a lot. I like both sides of it. I think you could also do the same thing with Stafford's side of the ball, even though for some reason they don't feel like when they get into the red zone that they are necessarily looking for anybody but Puka. But I would still take a shot with Kupp, even though it's hard he broke hearts last week, including mine, and then maybe coming back with either Adams or Wilson. So that's one of those ones where I think that's a tournament type of stack. I think it's got big play possibility. My favorite side of it is the Jet side because Aaron Rodgers is on his walk away tour, and he is going to throw your boat gently down the stream. So and then bring it back full stack with the Jets, bring it back with Puka Cup, and I think you got yourself a winner.
Yeah, I like what I'm hearing there. Definitely one of the games that stands out, probably right behind the Lions and Bears of the ones we've talked about so far. Willie, what do you think?
I'm not gonna be on Adams this time. I think if I gotta go, I will go with Wilson. And I think Wilson, they do pretty good against the slot receivers, which Adam normally plays. So I think Wilson would be my guy of choice. But listen, let me tell you something. Puka's the man. If y'all don't know, you better ask somebody. That dude is a bad man, and he ain't never gonna give you a cup stack of no damn points. Let me tell you something. Puka gets 36% of the targets. And he eats up cover 3. Where the Jets have been playing a lot of cover 3 ever since they got rid of that coach. And they've been listen, guys, if Jacksonville guys eat you up, okay, what do you think the Rams are going to do? So don't be disrespectful to Mr. Stafford. Do not be disrespectful to Mr. Stafford because he is definitely in play going against that Jets defense. The Jets defense has been one of the worst in the last 7 games against the pass. They have been giving it up against the pass. So like I said, Stafford is also in play, in this game here because the Jets defense, it's to the point where they just don't care. And I'm just not going to be on Rodgers as much because they're going to be face a better defense than they did against Jacksonville last week. But but like I said, if you want to play whoever you want to play in this game, they in play because the passing game is definitely in play in this game. Now you just worry about the weather situation in terms of it's being cold. The Rams is a dome team, that type of thing. But
well, the warm weather, yeah, the Rams are a warm weather.
Yeah,
but
coming out from Cali, but and it is an early start, and sometimes West Coast teams don't show up the same way when they got to play that early 1 p.m. Eastern game. That is something to think about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you just think, but this is a game that they need. This game is a game they need, so they got to be ready.
Lou, I just want to point out a minor stat correction there. Mr. Wall said that Rodgers was facing a better defense. I'm not really sure what he meant by that, but clearly
a better defense than Jacksonville.
Clearly, he's not talking about the Rams' 30th ranked defense against the pass. No,
they're still better than Jacksonville.
They're still better than
Jacksonville. Playmakers. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So
they are D-O-D-O on defense.
And so is Rodgers. Rodgers is D-O-D-O too. I mean,
last couple of weeks, I think he's averaging what?
Good.
Yeah,
he's been good the past few weeks.
Yep. I think Mr. Rodgers averaging. Yep, I got it. Pretty good.
Yeah, I see. But when he goes, like I said, every time he plays a good team, like when he played Arizona, shut down.
He's not about to play a good team though, Willie. So stop making that up.
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, but I'm not. Listen, listen. He single-handedly took that team down. That sorry bastard, So Rodgers could.
I definitely prefer the Stafford and Puka look than I would Rodgers and either one of those receivers. But I'm not against going with it. But if I'm going to go in that game, I definitely like the Stafford Puka side. Speaking of one-sided games, I think we're about to see one with Philly and Washington. I don't like anyone for Washington against that Philly defense, but I like a lot of what Philly can bring to the table. Who do we start with last? I feel like we started with Swami last. So let's go with Willie this time.
That's his team too, Lou.
Yeah, but listen, my team and my money are two different separate subjects. So there would not be a Commanders team, a Commanders player in any of my lineups. I promise you that. So don't even ask me about the Commanders. I don't even see them on the other side. Now, but I think they'll be able to push them a little bit. So the only guy that I'm really interested in this game, honestly, Lou, is Barkley. I think Barkley is an excellent pivot off of the other, off of Connors, off of everybody that's going to play Gibbs. He's going to be probably like 5 or 8% on, but this dude against the Commanders, this dude could put up 200 against the Commanders. If they give him the ball like that. So I think the Commanders' defense stinks. Okay, Philly's defense is good. And matter of fact, in season long, I don't mind Philly in season long because the reason being is the Commanders gave up 8 sacks against the Saints. And this Philly defense, they good. They good, man. They are good. So listen, you can play what you want on the other side. I just don't think that for the price point I could get better for other players. But I mean, the guy that I'm focusing on this game that I'm going to have, I'm having at least 8 liners because I think I'm going to pay up for back and go down for receivers and pay down all that. I love Barkley in this game. Barkley, he hit him off for 140 the last game, the time they played him, and I think he is firmly in play in this game against the Commanders, unfortunately, and we're gonna get our ass kicked. So anyway, that's all.
So I don't disagree with anything you're saying, and I fully agree with them getting their asses kicked. And I don't like the Eagles by any means. I'm not an Eagles guy at all, but I think they're significantly better than everyone else in that division. Swami, maybe I'm on my own island, but I feel like the Eagles are almost starting to rest Barkley for the playoffs so he doesn't get worn down. So he does. That actually scares me a little bit. I don't think they need him in order to beat Washington. And I think they want to go out again and say, hey, we got a great passing game. You saw it last week. Finally, I threw to A.J. Brown. I'm going to do it again. And A.J. Brown's going to see another 10-plus targets, 100-plus yards, and a touchdown or 2.
I still think I think it was 2 things working there. One, there was a lot of talk about, Brown and getting Brown involved. And I think a lot of folks think that it was probably more about them trying to get Brown involved. I don't think so. I just think Brown had a great matchup and they took advantage of it. If I'm the Eagles, I'm not looking to prove anything. They know they got a good football team and they got to continue to get better going into the playoffs. And they still trying to get, playoff seeding is still important to them. I don't think they're in a spot where they can just talk about we're gonna rest Barkley. So I think they're gonna play their guys. I think depending on how the game goes and where the matchups are, I think they can still lean on Barkley early in this game. And if it breaks out, then maybe he'll get a little bit of rest in the fourth quarter. But I think this game will probably be a little bit competitive. If y'all remember the last game that they played, I think it was week 11, if I'm not mistaken. There was a couple of bright spots for the Washington offense, and that was Eckler. Unfortunately, he's not out of the backfield. And then there was Ertz. I think Ertz had something like, say, 4 or 5.
Ertz is out too.
About 50 yards. Now he's out.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably. I mean, he's questionable, but he doesn't look good.
Okay, so Ertz doesn't play. Maybe they finally let the rookie kind of take over at tight end. But those were the 2 bright spots, which mean out of the backfield for the running back and then the tight end position. If it would have been Ertz, I would have liked Ertz. I think the way that they featured him, I know that was tough last week because it was a heck of a catch that he made that he wound up getting injured on. I think Washington, the game is important to them as well. Not even the fact that they got to win, but they got to show that they can compete with the Eagles this week. So for that reason, I wouldn't be mad if you wanted to play maybe Brown, but I think I'm going to agree with Willie. Give me Barkley and whoever's going to be playing tight end at Washington. I think that short passing game will still be in play. And I'm hopeful that the Commanders at least play a little bit better and get this game into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they played well for the first 2.5 or 3 quarters in that game you alluded to in week 11, and then Philly just pulled away.
Right. Yeah, but it was that. But what happened, if you remember, the Commanders could have kicked a field goal. They went for it was 4th and 2. They had a couple of things that went bad, and the game was still in. So if you kick the field goal and you go ahead, that's a whole different mentality than you give them the ball back and the momentum switched. Because that game was in the middle of the fourth quarter, it was competitive. So and then also what did they do with Terry McLaurin? They didn't do nothing. He had 1 catch for 10 yards. Unacceptable. You know what I mean? You got to get him involved. You see what he's been doing, where he's got 11 touchdowns now, and they get him involved. So you have to get him involved in that. I thought the game plan that the Commanders had was stinky too. So it's a divisional game. I can understand what Swami's saying because it was competitive, and they're playing at home, and you're hoping. That's why I think really Barkley is in play because that run defense is soft. And I'm just telling you, man, I think that's the way to take advantage of it. And you got to remember, he still has a shot to break the record. So he has to. So this will be a good team to try to do it on right here. And they need to win every game because you're fighting with Minnesota and you're fighting with Detroit for that.
Oh yeah, they have that. They have the inside shot at that too because the Vikings and Lions have to play each other. Right. So they have a shot at that.
So this game, this game means everything. So
and even though you called them soft, Willie, again, nobody has had a game like that, at least in the last 5 or 6 weeks against the Commanders, except for Barkley, right? So again, more Barkley playing well than it is Washington. I think Washington's defense, their whole team, I think, is still playing a little bit better as the season has gone on. I know they has still lost a couple of games for different reasons, but they compete. I like it.
Yeah, I mean they're playing a lot better than people expected them to. For sure.
Yeah, hey, listen,
and it'd be a nice story if they do find a way to get into the playoffs. With a win in this game, they probably will too. I don't think they're going to get that win, but
playing with house money.
Agree.
Playing with house money, but once I believe in that front office. They're going to get some players next year, and I think they're going to be remarkably better next year.
100% defense and a number 2 wide receiver.
Yes,
Minnesota Vikings, Seattle Seahawks. Swami, this could be a very good game. My problem is that Geno Smith, can you trust Geno Smith? Sometimes the guy is excellent. He's awesome. And other times, well, not so much. Vikings not great against the pass, really good against the run. So Geno might have a lot on his plate. He might have to throw the ball 35, 40 plus times. No turnovers. Seattle's got a chance. Turn it over a few times. Seattle's going to lose.
Well, I like the Viking side of it so much. I talked about it in a segment early. But as far as Geno, I trust him as much as the guy that made the fried chicken. I don't think he's been consistent enough. I think at times he's almost focused on JSN too much. I think the offense needs to run the ball, and they haven't been doing that. I think, if Walker is back and Charbonnet isn't healthy, that hurts them as well because Charbonnet seems like he makes the offense look different. But without the big plays from Metcalf they were getting early in the season, even with JSN still doing the damage that he's been doing, you've seen the offense just hasn't been able to have, look consistent, put up points, etc. So, Geno is going to have to play a lot better for them to even have a shot in this game. And I still think that if he plays, which I think he's on track to, I don't like it if he's not able.
He is on track to, by the way.
Right. And
just
if he's not able to move and get away from that pass rush and they're putting pressure and, the Vikings like to put everybody up near the line and cause a little bit of confusion, I just don't like it. But I do have some interest in Jefferson. I think Jefferson is definitely a man of interest this week, even at that price. And if Smith can do anything, Jefferson and JSN, they would be a nice combination to have if Geno shows up for work. So you give me those two pieces. I wouldn't be mad at Jones if somebody like Jones as well out the backfield, in the backfield for Minnesota. Hawkinson, outside shot. He's, at least getting more involved, but you just don't. He's not having those big games like the McBrides and the Bowers, but his price is starting to creep up. So he's got a tweener price on him right now, and I'd take Laporta over him this week.
Yeah, I like the Laporta matchup. And you mentioned DK Metcalf. Did you know since week 4, he had 7 catches against the Lions? Since that week, he's had one game of more than 4 catches. One game.
Yeah, and he's
of
been
more
on
than
my
4
bench.
catches.
And I wave at him every week. Hey, DK. Yep, keep hitting the weight room, buddy. Not getting in here. Not happening, Lou. So eventually he'll.
I think you were spot on about JSN's awesome. He's great. I'm not saying don't give him the football as much, but find a way to get the ball to DK too.
Yeah.
Willie, Vikings, Seahawks. What do you got here?
I'm going to be more on Addison in this game than Jefferson, and even though I have him in season long, because what they do well that Seattle struggles with is the play action pass, play action, and that's when Addison is leading the team in play action looks, and so I think Addison would be a man of interest in this game for me. And I'm going to switch from JSN to Mr. Metcalf in this game. I think Mr. Metcalf might do something. He is like a 25-month-old pregnant lady. He is due. He is due. And what the Vikings struggle with is that outside receiver. And that coach mentioned that about, and that's what he said. He said, listen, I got to get the ball. I got to manufacture a way to get the ball to DK Metcalf. What they've been doing is they've been going to these too many of this 20, this hold on for a minute. Hey, I'm up. I'm doing a podcast. Thank you for calling me, babies. I appreciate you. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Okay. So, sorry. So anyway, they've been trying to go the ball too deep. They need to take the 10 yards. Stop trying to get him on these 20-yard routes. So I think they're going to change their philosophy in this game. And listen, as bad as Geno has been, listen, when they brought Howell in, that offense went dead. You understand what I'm saying? So it's bad. I agree with you. He's Geno was bad, but he's worse.
Well, Geno sometimes is great. He's just inconsistent. But
yes.
Yeah, when Howell came in, I had a bunch of player props on Seahawks, and Howell came in, and I just was like, all right, I'm done. Like, bets are over. I'm finished.
Yeah, so I agree with Swami there. I'm not playing him, but I'm just saying at least he's competent. That offense looked like went back to 1922 when he came in that game, man. He was and I had some good stuff going. And as soon as he came in, I said, oh, man, I'm done. Everything just stopped. He stinks. That Howell stinks. That's why the Commanders got rid of that bastard. God, he stinks.
Yeah, I think they made a good decision there, and then drafting Jane Daniels. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Yeah, Swami, or is it Willie? Either way, Swami, I'll go to you. Patriots, Bills. I don't like New England at all. I like Buffalo. My concern is Josh Allen probably isn't going to put up 4 or 5 total touchdowns again because he just won't have to in this game.
Hold on, Lou. Let me call Willie. Hey, Willie. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, put it on silent. Yeah. And try not to answer every damn call during the show. All right, buddy. All right, talk to you soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm back, Lou. So I think Allen could still possibly score, say, their first 4 possessions, right? But it's not going to be that Allen we saw the last couple of weeks when they were playing down and having to keep going all week. You definitely expect to see that backup quarterback at some point in this game. They are likely to rough the Patriots up. If the Patriots were somehow even able to put up a little bit of fight on offense and find some miracle that they are able to score, and keep pace, even if it's not touchdowns, even field goals, to make the Buffalo Bills offense have to come back out in the second half, it would be great. I don't trust it. And so for that reason, even though I think Allen, Cook, maybe Kincaid, a few guys in that offense are definitely in play, it's just hard to trust in this game where you feel like it's not going to be very competitive. If you looked at somebody, Demario Douglas has got a great price on both sites. And then, so it's at least something you can consider. And they got and the other receiver who, depending on if you consider them the number 2 or number 3, at 3,400 for New England, he's probably And a man of interest, I would say as well.
You're talking about Kendrick Bourne or Butte?
I think it's Butte who's
Okay.
at 3,400, and I think
Butte's 35 and Bourne is 34. Butte is the guy that gets certainly more work in that offense.
Right,
He's probably who you're thinking of.
Right, you think he's getting more to work while the other guy I think was getting more snaps. But I'm only mentioning him as honorable mention. I don't know if I like a lot of the New England side of the ball. If you were going to take somebody here, obviously it's Allen and Cook, but no thank you.
Yeah, I definitely love the Bills. I just worry that they take their foot off the gas and you're just not getting what you want to get from them, right, Willie?
Pass
on the whole game.
Pass. I don't want nothing in this game. Listen, it's going to be ugly. The thing that made him great was he was pushed, and he ain't gonna be pushed in this game.
But I agree. But I'll say Butte got 90% of the snaps.
No, I'm not talking about Butte. I'm just saying in terms of Allen. The thing. You might play a little Butte in by himself.
No. I was just saying Butte got 90% of the snaps, but Bourne has got 3 receptions in each of the last 3 weeks. So I was talking about Bourne at 3,400. I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. Where I recognize Butte's getting the snaps, and obviously that could turn into some production as well. But Bourne has got 3 receptions over the last 3 games, and he's 3,400.
Good. It's good to know. Good clarification. And Willie, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you on the hard pass. So how about this? How about this ugly game that could actually be fruitful because of how ugly it is? The Jacksonville Jaguars lost.
No, sir. Now we're talking. This game right here is what I'm talking about. The Raiders don't have their best defensive lineman. He's out. He's gone. Night. Listen, let me tell you something. Brian Thomas, he might bring me a couple of championships this year. Mr. Thomas. See, when we call you Mr., that's a sign of respect, a sign of that you are elite, and he is elite. He reminds me of a young Chase. And remember when Chase was coming around, his price has been going up just by a little bit at a time. His price is not high enough in this matchup. Lock button. Mac Jones loves this dude. And the thing that you had to watch last week, they did 5 wide receiver screens to this guy. That's 5 points right there. 5 of them. They trying to find. They are scheming stuff for him. He is in their interest. Give me some Mr. Thomas. And it was a song by Cameo called Strange, and I like it. He's strange, the way you move their hair. Strange. Give me some strange, baby. Give me some strange. Yes, sir. Strange.
Mac Jones, Brian Thomas, Brendan Strange. It's actually
very,
very, very, very interesting.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? Aiden O'Connell coming back, he's not great, but he is a lot better than Desmond Ridder. We can all agree on that. Yes. And suddenly, Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, kind of interesting too.
Listen, this game right here, this is why you can pay up for backs. Because of this game right here. You will hear this game right here a little bit later. I'm just telling you, this is my game right here. Raiders are ass against the pass defense. Yes, you give me these guys right here. You can pay up a running back, and you can laugh all you want, but I'm gonna have a lot of this right here. Matter of fact, if you want to switch it up, you throw in the best tight end in the game. Since he's coming back on the Chiefs. You leave Strange out, or you double tight in it, or you do whatever you want to do. But this game right here is my favorite game of the day. This game right here. I love this game, and I think Brian Thomas is a lock button for me. Strange is going to be in most of my lineups. Going to have him in there, and you can run it back with Myers, or you can run it back with the tight end for the Raiders. It makes sense. I'm just telling you, this game right here Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Hey, if you want to pay up for a combo of Connor, Barkley, Gibbs, two of those three, this is the way to do it. You're absolutely right. Is finding some real good value in this game. Swami, I'm not sure you can love this game as much as Willie. I don't think anyone ever will, but how do you feel on the game?
Lou, so, long story short, clearly Willie has drank the magic Kool-Aid and had the magic mushrooms to go with it. Even though some of the pieces in this game, I would agree I like the pieces. I think last week, I'm not sure it was Heat Override or who was it that talked me into Strange, but he wound up being a great play last week and probably almost helped me get there. I had Thomas already, so I'm not mad. I feel like once you get 2 or 3 pieces, meaning if you like 2 players on the offense, especially if they're receivers, then you can automatically like the quarterback because it means that he'll at least come in somewhere around 18, 20 points. And that's at a minimum. And then obviously if they're able to get a that other touchdown that you need and some back and forth, then you like it. And then obviously with O'Connell in there, we know what Bowers looked like. We know what Myers has probably done with him under center as well. So I could see you liking that side of it. I was giving Willie that look because it's some quarterbacks like Rodgers, who we just look at and totally dismiss, who's put up much better numbers the last couple of weeks than those guys. But anyway, so not mad at it. Like it a lot. I was concerned when I saw Strange was on the injury report for a little bit. I said, whoa, his shoulder. Wait a minute. We need that shoulder this week, Strange. Be hurt another week. Not this week. And then unfortunately, the couple of times I played up, I know Willie likes both of these guys for season long and other reasons, and I'm talking about McBride, Mr. McBride, as well as Bowers. I'm just saying that it just feels like every time I paid up for tight end this year, they weren't quite as friendly to me as when I paid down. And Mr. Strange did me well last week at 2,500, I believe. He exceeded expectations, and I think he's in a good spot again this week, especially if he's going to get that type of target share. He might be a lock for me. If he's healthy, he might be a lock.
He's healthy. He's playing. He's only 3,500, even though it's a big jump from 25. He's only 35, very cheap still. And the Raiders, 29th against the tight end.
Exactly. Hit the lock button for Mr. Strange. Don't overthink it. That means you got 2 spots here, boys and girls. You got Mr. Gibbs, you got Mr. Strange, and you figure everything else out on your time. But we've given you 2 players.
I disagree. You got 3.
Okay.
Then you got Mr. Brian. You got Mr. Thomas.
I'm not mad at Thomas, but I mean, they can start to depend on how they want to do their stacks and whatever else they got going on. I'm saying you put the lock button on those 2, and you figure the rest of it out after the show on your time. But don't overthink it. Don't tell yourself about ownership. Don't hope that somebody gets injured and all of this type of spooky stuff. No. Lock them in and keep it moving. Obviously, if you want to get a little leverage off of them, you do that in your other lineup. But they should be the guys that you stick with in this game. I like it a lot, and I'm not mad at what Willie said.
All right, Gibbs and Strange, and figure out the rest. Maybe some Brian Thomas Jr. We got one more game here, though. 49ers, Dolphins. And coming into the season, looking at this game on the schedule, we would have been like, damn, this is going to be a hell of a game. But both these teams, 2 of the most disappointing of the year. Does that not mean we might be able to still find some value here in fantasy for DFS? What do you think, Willie? 49ers,
Yeah,
Miami
I
Dolphins.
have interest. I have interest in this game. I think Purdy was awful. I think Purdy's in play. I think the receiver that I have interest in this game that I think is who I like for San Francisco is Mr. Jennings. I think Mr. Jennings. Listen, first of all, Debo, shut your mouth up. Shut your mouth up. You had a chance to do some stuff last week. Give me the ball. And what did you do? You bastard. You dropped passes. You had a touchdown going into that game in one of the worst Thursday night games ever that they ever displayed in that game. So I think this game is the exact opposite. I'm just telling you. I think Purdy's in play. I think Jennings is in play, and I think Taylor's in play. I think Taylor, if you want to pay up for your 2 running backs, you give like I think Taylor listen, I don't know what it is about this Shanahan offense, but man, they make the running backs, man, somehow flow, and he can work at this price point. So I think I have interest in Mr. Taylor in this game. I think he's a pay down option, and I think and one thing about the Shanahan offense, the one guy's going to get that ball is going to get most of the snaps. Garindo was out. I think Mr. Taylor's in place. So if I'm looking there, that's what I'm looking at. But like I said, I told you what my favorite game is the game before. But I'm just saying, in this game right here, I think it's more to it than what people are giving this game. I don't like.
Yeah, no one else is getting the football in that backfield. You're 100% right. I mean, Juszczyk randomly will get a carry or two and like a target, but that's it. It's all Patrick Taylor. Like him a lot. Probably my favorite player in this game is Patrick Taylor based on the price and the volume. I don't love anything in the game though. I think we're actually going to see now. Luckily, it's in Miami and it's not in a cold place because we know what that does to Tua in Miami. So it could be a little higher scoring, I guess. But Taylor definitely a play for me, probably in the flex though, like you mentioned, because I want to pay up in RB. Swami, Dolphins, 49ers. What do you like? What do you don't?
Lou, not just no, but hell no. I don't know what Willie is talking about here, even thinking about. I think it was the great philosopher Keith Sweat that once said, nobody, Lou, who do you want to play here? Nobody, not anybody. Now, again, if you wanted to make a case, Lou, let's just say you were a 49er fan like Danger, or you were just in love with these two teams and you had to play somebody, it would be Kittle and it would be the odd chain. That would be it. It would be the train and it would be Kittle, Miami running back, San Francisco tight end. That's at best. But the thing you do with this game, if you're a fan, is you watch it. And if you got to play the season long, you do what you got to do. But other than that, you skip clean over this game. Taylor's a man of interest at that price, Lou. I will agree. But other than that, you stay far away from these two very expensive, inconsistent, goofy offenses, and you enjoy your Sunday. No, thank you.
All right. Well, we got about 10 minutes until this first Saturday game kicks off. So we should let people go and get ready to watch those games. But before we do that, Willie, you got any final thoughts on this slate? Any last minute wisdom you want to impart?
Well, we have something called cheap bastards. So we have a bastard or two that are cheap. One cheap bastard is a Kongwu, who Swami mentioned before, for Tennessee. That's a cheap bastard. And Malik Washington for Miami at 3,700. He is out there. And we know Stranger. I mean, Stranger's a lot, but we not including him in it. But he is a cheap bastard. And my balls to the wall call is going to be DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, who has been ass cheeks of ass and ass of the cheeks.
All right, Swami, same to you, man. What's your last minute gut feeling telling you, your last minute wisdom for everyone out there?
That's the best balls to the wall, I think, all year. That he finally pulled up his skirt and he had a pair. And I like it. I like it a lot with DK. I would say cut, but I don't know if that's much of it's more of a bounce back after last week. But that's not much of a Swami says kind of pick. We got to go a little bit deeper. We got to see what it is that we can plug out where folks aren't looking. So I tell you what, I'm going to go. The man I think is of interest this week is probably going to be Jameson Williams. I think of everybody, people have forgotten him, but the Lions have not. He's been almost double-digit fantasy points, probably the last 4 or 5, or probably 4 out of the last 5 or 6 games. He's been right there and not close. And I think he could be due for a big game as St. Brown is getting some more attention and with Montgomery out, I just feel like they could use some plays from him, and everybody's will be looking at Patrick. He's the guy that people are forgetting about. So I'm gonna give you Williams, but I really like that Bears stack, and I really like that Jet stack. You guys heard it here.
All right, awesome stuff, fellas. A pleasure for me to get to join you both, and Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Enjoy the football. Good luck this week with all your lineups. And thanks to everyone out there listening to us for tuning into Friday Night Lights Week 16. I'm sure Doc will be back next week. But until then, take care.
Merry Christmas. Merry
Oh,
Christmas.
yeah. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for joining.
Take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.